episode 86 of Piv's NXT Point of View podcast. My name is Bill Pivots. So this week's episode, we got all 4 second-round matchups of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Charlie Caruso gave us an update on the tournament, saying obviously that all 4 matches will air tonight. They then cut to a house show that took place over in San Jose last week, where 2 of the 4 matchups took place. The first one was TM61 versus Austin Aries and Roderick Strong. Austin Aries came out in street clothes. They brought up the fact that he suffered an injury during the house show loop. If you haven't seen the injury, it's been posted all over Twitter and everything. WWE, Austin Aries, they all posted on their own Twitter and Instagrams. If you haven't seen it or you're squeamish, I would definitely not go out to look for it. It's probably the worst eye injury I've seen since Walking Dead. Aries grabbed the mic. He took off his glasses to reveal what his eye looked. It was pretty much swollen shut. He said that the NXT officials think Aries is too valuable to risk any further injury and removed him from the match. Aries also thought that TM61 should forfeit and allow Aries and Roderick Strong to move on. William Regal had other ideas. He said that Aries may be likely able to compete next week, but he also mentioned that one member of TM61 will face Roderick Strong to see who moves on. That man was Shane Thorne. What I noticed during the 2 house show matches is that the ring is not mic'd at all compared to what you hear at the Full Sail Arena. It just made for a weird, quiet experience. You saw the moves, you heard a little impact, but there wasn't like the loudness you would hear when they slam on the mat or whatever the case is. Aries distracted Thorne early as he was on the top rope, allowing Strong to hit a nice heel kick. He then backdropped Thorne onto the top turnbuckle, similar to what Sasha and Charlotte wanted to do at SummerSlam, but these guys actually hit it off. He later caught Thorne in midair and hit another backbreaker. I think Aries at one point during his promo called him the master of the backbreaker or something along those lines. Thorne countered a superplex, and he hit a double foot stomp from the top rope. He got a near fall after a Falcon Arrow and a huge sit-out powerbomb, but Aries distracted the ref after the powerbomb. Miller went over to Aries, Strong dropkicked Miller, but that took away from his focus on Thorne, who rolled up Roderick Strong to get the win. Good match. I would have loved to see the tag match. I think they would have put on a really good match, possibly even a great match. But this was a pretty good substitute nonetheless. With Aries' injury and the recent news that he will require surgery and be out for the rest of the year, it obviously made sense for TM61 to move on. And maybe with this, if they win the tournament, they'll get the push that everyone thought they would get, being this whole amazing team from Australia. We just haven't seen it yet. So maybe we'll see it at the end of this tournament. Second match, back at Full Sail, was Team DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus the Tag Team Champions, The Revival. After DIY made their entrance, The Revival came out in street clothes. Scott Dawson was on crutches. He was a little hesitant when he said this, but he said he suffered a severe knee injury, almost career-ending. He listed a bunch of different things wrong with his knee, torn meniscus, strained ACL, and a bunch of others. He said he wanted to compete, but at the advice of the doctors, he and Dash Wilder will have to withdraw from the Tag Team Classic. Dash looked over at Gargano and Ciampa saying, don't be all surprised or hurt. You guys got a ticket to the next round. And he also saved them from losing to the Tag Team Champions again. So we actually only got 3 matches on the show. My prediction is that the Revival cost DIY the match in the next round, and it will lead to a tag team match at TakeOver with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa finally getting the win. Obviously, it seems like the likely outcome, but I'm not going out on much of a limb there. They need a tag team title match, and these two have been feuding since even before Brooklyn, so it'll make sense to continue this feud, considering no other teams are pretty much at the level of these two to get a tag team title shot. If they are, they're competing in the Tag Team Classic anyway. Cedric Alexander said he learned a big lesson from Cien Almas that you always have to be aggressive, and he said he wants to repay him that favor. DIY were backstage asking about their reaction. They gave a pretty much like the neutral face, the emoji, saying that they were not surprised, and then Ciampa then used the top guys outline as they walked away. Third match, Authors of Pain versus No Way Jose and Rich Swann. This is the second match that aired from the house show in San Jose. Swann took out Akam with an assisted Hurricanrana, and he was able to use his quickness to get the better of Razar, giving the babyfaces a little bit of hope that they actually have a shot to win here. Swann dove, but he was caught by both Authors of Pain. Jose went to the top and then jumped on all 3 of them. I think they went to a commercial break at that point. After that, Razar landed a press slam and then squished Swann in the corner. Rich Swann was able to break free. He got the hot tag. Jose was able to land some strikes on both men. Swann landed a huge splash to, I believe it was Akam on the outside. Jose then hit Rezar with a TKO and got a huge near fall. The crowd almost jumped to their feet. Akam got the blind tag, and they hit their last chapter finisher, the leg sweep clothesline, to get the win. Great match. This might be my favorite of the three, technically, of the night. I like the fact that they gave Jose and Swan a lot of offense, even though it was early, just to build up the fact that, give the fans hope that they could win and give Authors of Pain their first loss. But the Authors of Pain are not losing to Rich Swann and No Way Jose. They had a couple of nice near falls, though, but Authors of Pain are going to face Team DIY in the semifinals. Charlie then announced that the two semifinal matches will take place next week. Interesting choice. I thought they would have had at least the 3 tag team matches, but they might have a lot planned for TakeOver that they needed the extra room on the card to get some of the other matches on there. After all that, it led to our main event of TJ Perkins and Kotobuki versus Sanity, Alexander Wolfe and Sawyer Fulton. Wolfe had the better Kota. Perkins locked in a knee bar, but Wolfe was able to reach for Fulton. TJ Perkins did the same thing to Fulton, and then Wolfe was back in. Kota and Perkins landed a few kicks on Wolfe. They then worked over Fulton in their corner. Kota hit Wolfe with a moonsault to the outside. Perkins went for a dive, but Fulton called him and slammed him right on the edge of the ring. And I think they went to a commercial break. Sanity then continued with a double team move on TJ Perkins, a knee strike and a gut wrench combo slam. Kota got the hot tag and he hit Wolfe with a huge Golden Star powerbomb, but Young and Nikki Cross distracted the referee, allowing Fulton to break up the pin. Sanity then hit Kota with the suplex front slam combination to get the win. Good match. They dragged it out a lot in the beginning. I think it went on a little too long. Sanity, obviously Wolfe and Fulton mostly because we've only seen Nikki Cross once. They still have some limitations in the ring. They're still a little green, but I like their innovative tag team moves. There was at one point where Alexander Wolfe laid on the ground on his back with his knees up, and Fulton just slammed Perkins right on top of his knees. So they had some pretty cool tag team moves, but it made sense with Kotobuki not signed full-time. They're not going to keep giving them push, so it made sense that he and Perkins lost. Next week, we do have the semifinals, Sanity versus TM61, and the Authors of Pain versus Team DIY. My prediction is that Authors of Pain and TM61 head to the finals, and TM61 getting the upset win over Authors of Pain and winning the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. But obviously it's just a prediction. I have no idea. I didn't read the spoilers for what's going to happen. Overall, it was a good show. Nothing too outrageous happened. Nothing too boring happened either. I am surprised again that they did all 4 second round matchups here, but considering one was a singles match and one ended up being a forfeit, it didn't take away too much from the tournament. I would have actually spaced it out 2 this week, 2 next week, and then had I think the finals. Yeah, the finals are taking place on TakeOver. I think that would have made enough time to build everything up. But like I said, with the Revival forfeiting and the singles match, we weren't bored with 4 tag team matches in a row. But speaking of TakeOver, the card is as follows. We still have a couple weeks. It's going to take place on Saturday. I think it's Saturday, November 19th. We have Samoa Joe Nakamura for the NXT title, Asuka and Mickie James for the NXT Women's title, Bobby Roode versus Ty Dillinger, and the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. My other 2 predictions for the card are Team DIY versus the Revival for the tag titles, and Cedric Alexander versus Andrade Cien Almas as an undercard match, considering Almas turned on Cedric in the first round of the tournament. So we might get another match, but that's about 6 matches right there, and these NXT TakeOver shows don't go much more than that. So it'll look like it's going to be another good TakeOver show, and next week we have at least 2 tag team matches and whatever else they want to do to build up TakeOver. Alright guys, thanks for checking in for episode 86. I'll be back next week with episode 87. You can follow me on Twitter at @bpiv_sports. Rate, review, subscribe, comment the show on YouTube. Check you later. Peace.